Hello everyone. Oh, that's it. Okay. Hello everyone. This is John Jenkins, and I want to bring you a video. So apparently, I just did. This is gonna sound hilarious, but apparently, I just made my first C++ program. I just made my first C++ program, and I guess I was cheating a little bit. So I was working in Codewars, and I was working in Codewars and I was trying to. I'm sorry, I was working in Visual Studio Code. I was working in Visual Studio Code, and basically I had watched a tutorial video on YouTube on how to run programs in Visual Studio Code, but it still wasn't working. Apparently, I think what happened was that I was using a super old version of Visual Studio Code, and I think I was using a super old version of Visual Studio Code. So I went to the Visual Studio Code website and tried to download the latest version, and uh, apparently all current versions of Visual Studio Code require a Windows 11 ready architecture. Um, um, and My long story short, my current computer is stuck in Windows 10. So what I did was I went back to Code Wars, and a lot of you don't know what this is. So I went to Code Wars, and I decided to try to learn C++ that way. So I tried to do the fundamentals version of Code Wars, but that didn't work. I couldn't even uh, you know, as usual, most of the code you find, most of the question and answer code you find on Google is actually incorrect when you're trying to learn programming. Most of the people giving you advice on how to code on Google are actually don't know how to code. They're just either copying from somewhere else or they don't understand what they're doing. So basically, what I did was I went to the practice area of Visual Studio Code, the practice area of Code Wars. I went to the practice area of Code Wars, and this is the practice area. And the practice area. So basically, this is basically a mock tutorial area of Visual Studio Code. It's a way to learn Visual Studio Code without having access to uh, reliable. It's a way of learning. It's an easy way of learning how to code. So basically, what I did was I went to the practice section of Visual Studio Code, and they had this really easy tutorial. So basically, this was what they gave me. They said, okay, we got this function that says multiply. We want to multiply int a and int b, and all I had to do for this one, because like I said, I've been doing JavaScript and Python for years, and HTML. So all I had to do was put return. That's all I had to do, and I hit test, and that's all I had to do. So that was my first. That was literally my first ever C++ program. And that's amazing. That's amazing. So that's all I wanted to say. And have a great day and goodbye.